like Oumuamua a regular occurrence.
All we need to do is find more of the same. Because, when I go to the kitchen and I see an ant, I know that there are many more ants out there. And so the same thing about Oumuamua, there must be many more. We monitored the sky for a few years only and found one. The next one that we find, if we find it on its approach to us, then we can send a spacecraft with a camera that will intersect its orbit and take a close-up photo. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Avi Loeb is a professor and former chair of the astronomy department at Harvard. He has spent decades researching things like black holes and the first stars. If you've seen or heard his name in the news, it's likely because of this thing, Oumuamua, the first interstellar object ever detected passing through our solar system. It was picked up by a Hawaiian telescope in 2017 and roughly translates to scout or messenger. Loeb claims it could be extraterrestrial.
It's definitely not something we have seen before.
Now, obviously, that is a big claim, but Loeb lays out 6 anomalies about Oumuamua that he thinks merit an open mind. But first, you should know that this picture you've seen is just an artist rendering. The actual picture of the thing is this. See that one thing that's not a streak? That's Oumuamua. Loeb says the data shows its shape is way longer than it is wide and more extreme than any other comet or asteroid we've ever seen. It's also way brighter, reflecting 10 times the amount of sunlight than typical for comets or asteroids. But the biggest head-scratcher for Loeb? Oumuamua's trajectory. It deviated slightly from its projected path around the sun and accelerated away, almost like it got an extra push. Comets do that, but they leave behind a tail of gas. No tail was seen with Oumuamua.
Each of them is a low probability anomaly. You would say, okay, maybe 1% of all the objects has that anomaly. Then you take 1%, times 1% times 6 times 1% gives you a tiny probability. And that's the first object that we saw is an object that should be as rare as 1 in a trillion.
So you're basically saying this is like somebody got struck by lightning, then got attacked by a shark, then got attacked by a bear, then ended up winning the lottery, and all those things happened to that same person.
Yes, exactly, and it's the first person you meet.
His hypothesis? His hypothesis that Oumuamua must have been designed, built, and launched by extraterrestrial intelligence and could look more like this, pushed by the sun with a sail shape as it passed by.
Alright, Shalom. This is Hara 1 by Nyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Ka Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the 4 corners of the earth. Yeah, this topic came back, around on my table again, dealing with Oumuamua, all right, which is a Hawaiian word term that means messenger or scout. And I have here the etymology of that word. I've done many videos on it before, but I saw this, this news clip from NBC where this guy was doing a report on the UFO disclosure or the UAP disclosure that they're coming out with this month or next month, where they have pictures of chariots 50 feet away, like up close, detailed chariots, man. Hey, that's what they're talking about coming out with. So, but this Oumuamua, I was thinking, I'm like, wow, why did they call it Oumuamua? And this video, the guy was saying, yeah, man, if you look at it, if I see an ant in the house or in the kitchen, I know there's other ants behind it somewhere. If you think of an ant, you think about an army, right? Now, in this sense, it would be the angels. You see this chariot, you know there's many more behind it. There's a colony somewhere. But I just want to read this real quick. This is the etymology of the word Oumuamua. It means reach out for, first in advance of. Wow. So first in advance of. So saying that's the first of many. Scout leader, as in battle or activity, a messenger. All right, messenger, man. And now, this is 2017. Astronomers from the University of Hawaii were the first to spot Oumuamua, so they named it after the Hawaiian term for scout or messenger. Now, if you look up the word angel, right? The word angel just means what? Messenger. All right. So they know that's the angels. They know that was They know that was an angel, man, or angels in their chariot. Because they saying, in this. So again, man, this three-dimensional mindset to where they got to give everything a shape, a circle, a square, a cylinder, a pill shape. They got to compare it to something that the mind can handle. All right, the mind cannot fathom fourth dimensional things. That's why the Lord had to send angels to tell us what's going on. All right. If not, we would have never knew. But this is a messenger. Now, this is Zechariah or Zechariah. All right. Chapter 1, verse 1. Now, Zechariah, he saw an angel or a messenger or a scout or a chariot that was elongated. He said this. They said this Oumuamua was a very long craft. All right, and it reflected light, and it it actually accelerated 100 kilometers, 100,000 kilometers past uh, what they were tracking. So it was accelerating past their radars, what they could read. All right, so it went one way, then it turned the other way, and it took off. That was being controlled, and they're leaving out descriptions of it because they said it was red. It was actually red, man. It had a glow to it. All right. It says, in the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius. Now, when was that? That was Darius the Persian, not the Mede. Darius the Persian uh, started ruling around 720 or 522 BC. Salaki. All right, 522 BC. Now, it said in the 2nd year of Darius, that would be what, 520. Now, in the 2nd year, what did he see? So around 520 BC, man. All right, the chariots was here. He saw the chariots in the sky. He saw the scouts, the messengers, the angels. All right, or more. Zechariah 5 and 1. Then I turned and lift up mine eyes. Right, he looked to the north. He looked to the sky. He lifted up his eyes into the sky and looked. So he peered his eyes out into the sky. He wasn't just like looking around. He was like focused on something. It says, and behold, a flying roll. So he saw the same thing. It looked what they call tic tac, or an elongated cigar shape, as they say, a chariot. All right. So just like back then, they call it a flying roll, or in Ezekiel they say calf's foot, which is like a almost circular chariot. Then they say like a wheel. They compared the things they knew, and they were farmers, so they would talk about the chariots in the way of what they could relate it to at that time. Now, right here, he said, what, a flying roll. Now, what did he try to compare it to? See, three-dimensional thinking. He looking at this thing, and he like, it looks like he's not going to say it looked like a spaceship. It looks like a aircraft. No, they wouldn't even speak in English. So he said, what? He said, I looked, and behold, a flying roll. So what was it doing? He says, let's get the word roll first. It says a flying roll. All right. Magala. and it means a roll, a book, a writing, meaning like a scroll. He looked at it was like a flying scroll in the sky, something real long, and it had a cylinder shape to it. That's how he was trying to describe it. If he was talking to somebody, he wouldn't say cylinder. He wouldn't say elongated. He would say it looked like a scroll. You know, Magala. It says but what was it doing? He said, and behold, a flying roll. It says Iwa I Iwapa or Iwap. It says to fly, to faint, to fly about, to hover. So it was hovering, man. All right, this object was hovering. All right, so this object was hovering. It said to brandish. That means to like reflect something. All right, so behold a flying roll. So he looked up and he saw this elongated chariot of messenger angel, right, hovering. He said, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I said, I see a flying roll, and the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 20 cubits, is 10 cubits. All right, so that would be about as long as a football field. All right. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, but it's going to be deliverance to the elect, but it's going to be um, a curse to the heathens and the wicked of our people. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on this side according to it. So basically saying that everyone that's wicked is going to be cut off on this side. This, you know, um, every one of this people that stealeth holdeth himself guiltless as it doeth. So basically, everybody that's being wicked, all right, the Lord gonna send the chariots and bring about the prophecies to destroy 2/3 of our people. All right, judgment. And the house of the thief represents the earth being given to the hand of the wicked, but specifically Babylon, America. So, all right, so the chariots gonna show up like Independence Day, as you see them popping up all over the place. But the main announcement of them showing up is where? Right here in America. Yeah, they over Russia. Yeah, they all over the place. But now everybody's paying attention because America's bringing it out. This is Babylon, man. Verse 4, it says, and I will bring it forth. So the Lord is bringing it forth. That's who's controlling it. That's why they said it has no uh, propellers, or anything that propel it, or wings. All right, that's what that word, Iwapa or Iwap, meant. It, something with wings. But this is what he thought it would have. He looked at it and he said, nah, this is a flying roll. I mean, it didn't have wings because he would say like a bird. So why is it flying? Right? It didn't have any thrust to it. So it's like a flying roll just being moved across the sky. But who's moving it? That's why you read Ezekiel say it had the hand of a man under it. Matter of fact, real quick. Check this out. This is Ezekiel 1 and 20. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, um, right? Whithersoever the spirit was to go. So wherever the Most High sends these chariots by His command, all right, they went. Talking about the chariots. Thither was their spirit to go. So if an angel was to come out of the chariots and move around, he could have the chariot follow him and move with him. All right. Why? Because check this out. The wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. All right. That living creature is talking about Yahushua, right? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It says, when those went, these went. So the angels, their spirit was connected to the chariot. But check this out. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them. For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. All right. So, hey, man. Right. So that's what's controlling these chariots. Now, this, their spirit represents the spirit of Yahweh. We know that. He's the one that gives them power. All right. Hebrews 1:13. But to which of the angels said he at any time? Who's the he talking about? Yahweh. All right. Sit on my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. And this is what Yahweh said to Yahushua, the top angel. All right. Controlling everything, man. Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth? So even as Oumuamua was sent forth, all right, to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation. Just like we were sent forth. We're all angels. We're all messengers. All right. The elect of Israel and the angels themselves. But the difference is we have understanding upon the earth and they have understanding in the heavens. All right. This is 2nd Ezra 4:21. Because even the spirits that are in heaven, the angels, the scriptures say, man, even the angels desire to look into the matters that are happening upon the earth, but they can only do what Yahweh reveals to them and commands them to do and gives out a sentence, and he sends the angels and to stay in their lot, like to go gather prayers. Everybody has their lot. And Yahweh Shai was set up to open the seals to reveal the prophecies to us, man. All right. And the prophecies represent Yahweh's plans. Everything that Esau's bringing is all the plans and will of Yahweh. We got to understand that. So he can control it and make us exempt from the coming judgment. So he sent the angels, one, to terrify these heathens, and two, to wake up our people. All right? Faith booster. He said, look up because your salvation draweth nigh. That's our salvation, but it's a curse to the wicked. 2nd Ezra 4:21. For like as the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea to his floods, right? Even so, they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that which is upon the earth. All right. The only way we can understand it, the things out in the heavens, is if the Lord wakes up our minds to understand. And he that dwelleth above the heavens, this is the point, talking about the angels and the spirits, right? The spirit realm. You want to know where we go? It's a beautiful thing, man. The fourth dimension. When the spirit leaves this body, it goes into the heavens, and it can understand the earth, the things upon the earth, and no more. It says, but that which is upon the earth, right? And he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens. All right, so it's talking about them angels, man. They only set up to understand what Yahweh allows them to. They're just like us. All right, this is Psalms 104, 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind? Who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flaming fire, man. All right, so his angels are spirit. They don't have these mortal bodies. So they're fourth dimensional beings. All right. And that's what that was. That Oumuamua, it means messenger. If you look at the word angel, it means what? Messenger. All right. So but this was a fourth dimensional being, man. And they can only do what Yahweh allows them to do. And this was a scout. It said the first of many. All right. Now, what they say, they had a camera that they want to try to send out there and take pictures next time. But the Lord said he come as a thief in the night. He gonna come unexpectedly. He's controlling this, man. Revelations 1-7. Behold, he cometh with clouds. So this time Yahweh Shai is going to show up with thousands and thousands of angels and chariots, man. The heavenly host, with all the hosts of heaven. And every eye shall see him. So you ain't going to need no camera to look out there. Everybody going to see the chariots all over the earth. And they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Aman. So all the nations of the earth will start, uh, being in fear. All right, because it's judgment. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai, which is and was and which is to come, the Almighty, Yahweh.